Viewers, I have to be honest with you. Come a little closer. It's been quite a quiet week in the early years. But not a man to be held back. I've dug a little deeper and found some interesting stories about young children in the UK in general, and also some things that may end up affecting your nursery business. First up, we have an official report from the official government ombudsman for local government and social care. Now, they've brought out this report called Not Going to Plan. If you don't know what the ombudsman means, neither did I before I read this. It's basically the people who put the checks and balances on government, and they also therefore deal with a lot of complaints about their specific area, and in this case that covers SEND. Now, the report suggests a bit of a system in crisis. They talk about poor planning, people not getting to meetings on time, or inadequate partnerships with parents. There's a lack of oversight, and much worse, the report that families of children who need a SEND plan regularly face delays of up to a year, and in some cases up to like 50 weeks, which is obviously way too long for vulnerable children that need access to help. The number of complaints that have gone to them has risen by 45%. And worse, there's been a number of serious investigations, and 9 out of 10 of those investigations have been upheld. All in all, I think it's just another story suggesting that the SEND situation in the UK is in crisis. They talked about local councils essentially putting up additional barriers to entry in order to just be able to ration out the scarce kind of resources that they have. This is obviously not good enough. I think the money that was announced last month to go into SEND, and also the report that's coming out, shows it's good timing. Let's hope that they can get on and make some differences. Probably the story that has got the most attention this week is Sajid Javid's announcement that there are going to be some changes to the national living wage under the Conservative government. Now, at the moment, national living wage is for 25-year-olds and over, and it sits at £8.21. And they want to raise that to £10.50 by 2024. Now, this is based on a report from the Low Pay Commission that essentially says we need more equality within who's getting paid what. Because at these lower paying jobs, a lot of the time it's the same work being done, whether you're a 21-year-old or a 25-year-old. Of course, in a sector like the early years sector, where so much of a small business's costs are based on their staff, any changes to this is a worry. And with funding already stretched, lots of people are going to be concerned that this is going to tip over the edge and cause more nursery closures. The NDNA have said this is sounding the alarm bells, and they reckon that this will bring in a further 16% of the early years workforce into this new bracket. The Early Years Alliance have also said it's a concern and made the same claims as ever, that without a rise in funding, this is going to be a massive problem, and we are going to see big closures in the early years sector. I think it's interesting that this comes a week or two after we had the news from Nursery World that 1 in 10 practitioners are essentially living in poverty with a household income of £17,000 or lower. And I think while it's easy to jump to conclusions and concerned with the funding situation about how this is massively going to impact small businesses, I think if we can get that right, it's a good thing to make sure that our practitioners, who we know do amazing work, can actually have access to a little bit more wealth. Story number 3 is the news that Scotland have become the first country in the UK to outlaw smacking children. They join 57 other countries, including Ireland, that make smacking an illegal offence, and it looks like Wales is due to follow in their wake soon. Now, right now, it looks like there's no plans in place for England and Northern Ireland to join. And I'd love to know what you think. Comment down below. Let us know whether you think there should be a movement in the rest of the UK to outlaw smacking on children. Finally, I want to finish up with the news that we just this week have launched our brand new blog. It looks great. We've had a complete design makeover, and it's much easier to look through stuff, find different things. We've introduced new categories so that you can find the content that most interests you. You can check it out. There's a link in the description below. Would love to know what you think. That's it for this week. If you want to make sure that you're up on all the early years news, make sure to hit that subscribe button to get these videos straight to you every week first. We will see you next time.